with us on Mirror now. Our top focus of the hour. Almost a month after the Aurangabad horror, a similar incident of rape bid has come to light from Mohali, where a woman, in order to escape the rape bid, jumped off a moving auto on a busy street. In fact, the nurse boarded the auto rickshaw to return home around 10 p.m. on Tuesday, where the auto driver and the co-passenger, who was apparently the former's aide, tried to rape her and beat her up. However, the woman put up a brave fight and managed to break free and jumped out from the auto. She has sustained injuries and is undergoing treatment. Now, the cops traced the accused vehicle within 12 hours of the crime and nabbed both the accused.
एक फीमेल 26 ईयर ओल्ड ਇਹਨੇ ਆਟੋ ਲਿੱਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ 6 ਫੇਸ ਦੀਆਂ ਲਾਈਟਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਘਰ ਜਾਣ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਰਸਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਸੀਟਾਂ ਤੇ ਬੈਠਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਹੀ ਸਟਾਰਟਡ ਮੋਲੈਸਟਿੰਗ ਹਰ ਤੇ देयर वाज ਅਟੈਂਪਟ ਟੂ ਰੇਪ ਆਲਸੋ ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਬਰੇਵਲੀ ਇਹਨੇ ਫਾਈਟ ਬੈਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਆਟੋ ਤੋਂ ਜੰਪ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਖਰੜ ਕੁਰਾਲੀ ਰੋਡ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਨਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗਲੀ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ FIR ਰਜਿਸਟਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਟੀਮਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਿਵਾਈਡ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ
Well, for more on this, I'm joined in by my colleague Manoj, who joins us on the broadcast. Manoj, good evening. This is, of course, a shocking incident that has come to light. हमें बताइए अब तक की जो investigation, एक तरफ से हमने पुलिस का भी reaction सुना है, but in terms of MP या MLA, उन्होंने कुछ कहा है इस incident के बारे में, because it is unfortunate कि ऐसे घटनाएं महिलाओं के ऊपर आते रहते हैं.
बिल्कुल देखिए, पंजाब में पहले से ही कानून व्यवस्था की अगर हम बात करें, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर जो सिचुएशन है उसको लेकर लगातार पहले से ही सवाल उठ रहे थे, चाहे वो RPG अटैक की बात हो, चाहे पुलिस सिक्योरिटी में हत्याओं की बात हो, और अब ये अटेम्प्ट ऑफ रेप का जो मामला सामने आया है, इससे एक बार महिला सुरक्षा को लेकर बड़े सवाल खड़े किए हैं। और चाहे कोई भी विपक्षी दल हो, सभी ने सरकार पर निशाना साधा है। हालांकि जो पंजाब पुलिस है वो इस मामले में भी अपनी पीठ ठोक रही है और वो कह रही कि जब घटना घटी उसके विद इन 12 आवर 12 घंटे से कम समय में ही उन्होंने जो एक्यूज्ड हैं, जो आरोपी हैं, दोनों को गिरफ्तार कर लिया है। और जो लड़की है जिसने बहादुरी दिखाते हुए न केवल उनसे वो भिड़ गई बल्कि उसने ऑटो से कूदकर अपनी जान बचाई। फिलहाल जो लड़की है, जो विक्टिम है, उसको हॉस्पिटलाइज किया गया है क्योंकि ऑटो से जंप करने के चलते उसको काफ़ी चोटें आई हैं। उसका इलाज हो रहा है और जो अक्यूज हैं उनको पुलिस ने गिरफ्तार कर लिया है। तो कोशिश यही है, पुलिस ये पता लगाने की कोशिश कर रही है कि क्या ये प्लान था, योजनाबद्ध तरीके से इस घटना को अंजाम दिया गया है या फिर इस घटना के पीछे क्या कारण है। जी
मनोज, जैसे कि आप बता रहे हैं इस घटना के बारे में, ऑफ कोर्स पुलिस ने एक्शन तो लिया हुआ है, लेकिन आम आदमी पार्टी के जो मैनिफेस्टो में लिखा गया था, एक जो पॉइंट था उसमें सुरक्षा बटन ऑन एवरी मोबाइल फोन विद इमरजेंसी कनेक्टिविटी विद पंजाब पुलिस वाईफाई। ये इसलिए मैं ये पॉइंट भी उठाना चाहती हूँ क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली अगर हम औरंगाबाद के बारे में बात करें या जो अभी मोहाली में हुआ है, अल्टीमेटली क्वेश्चन ये उठता है कि जो भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी हो, जो भी ऑफ कोर्स गवर्नमेंट है पावर में, क्या विमेन की सेफ्टी टॉप प्रायोरिटी नहीं है? मैनिफेस्टो में लिखा गया है लेकिन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, क्योंकि इट शुड बी टॉप प्रायोरिटी कि विमेन हमारे सोसाइटी में सेफ रहे।
बिल्कुल, देखिए, चाहे आम आदमी पार्टी हो, कोई भी पार्टी हो, हर पार्टी महिला सुरक्षा की बात बड़े जोर शोर से करती है। और आपने ठीक कहा, आम आदमी पार्टी ने भी महिला सुरक्षा को लेकर बड़े वादे किए थे, लेकिन जब ये घटनाएं हो जाती हैं उसके बाद तमाम जो दावे हैं या हम कहें तब ये कहा जाता है कि हमने बहुत अच्छा काम किया और आरोपियों को पकड़ लिया है। लेकिन अगर सुरक्षा व्यवस्था को पहले मजबूत बनाया जाए और जो वादे किए गए हैं उनका सही से पालना हो और उनका जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन है वो सही समय पर हो, तो शायद ऐसी घटनाएं ना हो। और आप देखिए कि मोहाली जो है बिल्कुल चंडीगढ़ से सटा हुआ है, ट्राई सिटी का पार्ट है, और यहाँ बहुत सारी कामकाजी महिलाएं हैं जो रोजाना अपने घरों से निकलती हैं और चाहे वो ऑफिस हो या हॉस्पिटल हो या अलग अलग जगहों पर काम करती है, तो देर रात तक आना जाना लगा रहता है। तो मोहाली जैसे शहर में अगर ऑटो में इस तरह की घटना को अंजाम दिया जाएगा तो आप अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं पंजाब के जो इंटीरियर जिले हैं, जो इलाके हैं, वहाँ महिला सुरक्षा की क्या स्थिति होगी। तो सुरक्षा व्यवस्था को लेकर लगातार पंजाब सरकार कटघरे में है। जी
ठीक है मनोज, हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए। अभी के लिए जो आपने इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट्स उठाए, मैं अभी कुछ देर में आपके आई कम बैक टू यू, बट आई ऑल्सो हैव Brinda Adige joining me on the broadcast, who is of course a renowned activist. Brinda Adige, appreciate you talking to Mirror now, but of course we're discussing about an unfortunate incident. In fact, this comes after the fact that a month ago we'd seen a similar episode transpire out of Aurangabad. Why do you think, first of all, we're failing as a society to ensure safety of women? Also, on the other hand, it seems like safety is definitely not a priority for any political party which is in power.
None of the political parties think that safety of women is important. And that said, we also know that they haven't done much. Even though time and again, on a daily basis, these are cases that keep on happening. They have neither enhanced patrolling, nor have they trained their staff enough. And because of all of this, we also notice that the politicians are forever saying that this doesn't fall within their purview, or for that matter, they do not want to take responsibility. And the police are never held accountable. For that matter, nobody is held accountable. What are they doing as a case registered? If a case is registered, do they even do the charge sheet and file it in time? And if they do file the charge sheet, is there all the required evidence provided? And after 4 or 5 years, the case is just dismissed. There is no fear of law. So the responsibility absolutely lies with the state and the police.
As you're pointing that out as well, it of course raises questions as to how we are ensuring safety of women. But why do you believe that the system is so weak? What can be done to, ensure that women, in the society have also access to better security?
The government is forever saying they have created an app. They have all kinds of patrolling that has happened with the Nirbhaya funds. They also claim that helplines are on, but none of this is monitored. Where is the security? Who questions them if something doesn't function? If they really had all of this working in this digital India, surely the auto fellows as well as the cab drivers and the perpetrators will have some fear that they are going to get caught immediately. The case will be registered and the courts will extend swift punishment. Justice will be then extended to the victim survivor. No, all of that is not there. Everybody will make excuses. So women's security is not their priority at all. And as long as the security is not their priority, women are going to continue to suffer. And it is only channels like Times Now that will be bringing forward these cases. We will discuss it and all of them will go scot-free. Nobody will be pulled up. Nobody. Has the beat police in that area been pulled up? No. Have they even found out how many police were supposed to be patrolling that place? No. We cannot only depend on sophisticated technology. Maybe there is no internet access. Maybe all do not possess a smartphone. Given all of this, we have to depend on police, on the street itself. If all this is not there, how do you expect any kind of security for women to be even... They can't even feel safe. Forget that security. There's no feeling of safety.
Ma'am, obviously it's unfortunate that these glaring lapses are, of course, there in terms of providing safety and security to the women of a society. But also just to point out, because you also spoke about the fact that, during elections, we of course see manifestos being doled out and of course assurances from whichever political party is putting in the campaign. Just to put it in context or example, the Aam Aadmi Party in their manifesto had also stated that they would be, having some sort of a measure with a Suraksha button on every mobile phone with emergency connectivity. But it also raises questions about, number one, in such a situation, it's very difficult for a victim who's, in that particular situation. How does one access it? What can we do better in terms of providing services?
You're absolutely right. Not only the button and the phone and all of those kind of things, political parties' manifesto come out 2-3 days before the elections. So there's nothing much that anybody can even hold them to. After the elections, there is no report card. We don't pull them up and we do not ask, what have you done in 2 years' time? That said, there is no accountability from any of the parties. But like you mentioned, how else can a woman seek that support, and how can that service be extended to her? That comes down to the functionaries, the duty bearers. Every time you ask the police, they will tell you that they are having a lot of backlog of cases. They have no men around to extend this kind of services. But these are the same people who will extend all the bandobast required for a politician who might be on that street going from one place to another place. At that time, all the police are there. But there is no police to extend services to women, their safety. And that is a big concern. So we want to keep asking them this question. How do you make women feel safe? Are your lights all there? Are the street lights there? Are there even places and shops that somebody will notice and make noise about? Will somebody come forward? We have increasingly become a society and a community that has become complacent and very, literally shameful bystander attitude, where we all watch, we will take videos, but we will never extend help. And that is why it is important that the communities, the citizens, must take responsibility also. But again, the first primary responsibility absolutely lies with the state, the police, the courts, and whoever is in between.
Absolutely, ma'am. Like you're rightly pointing out, but at the moment we leave it at that and appreciate you taking the time out and talking to us on Mirror Now. In fact, we also, on the other hand, have Jaiben Singh of the BJP Punjab joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Singh, this is an unfortunate incident. In fact, of course, it raises question as to whichever political party is in power, why is safety not a top priority?
Thank you very much for calling me. Yes, it's a very, very shameful incident, especially for Punjab, where this kind of things are very rare. Punjab is a place which is very safe for women. It always has been. And our women, they move around late evenings and things like that. There has never been a problem. So it is shocking as well for us that this kind of a thing can happen in open daylight in this manner. And who are the miscreants and where they are coming from, because this is not the culture of Punjab. But it is not only being worried about women over here in Punjab these days. Every segment of society is living in fear because of the rising gangsterism over here, which is a much talked about issue. Even in the newsrooms, every second or third day I get into a debate on the local channels where we are talking about the rising gun culture and gangsterism. So I suppose with the law and order going down in a normal platform, everybody started getting this motivation to do something, being quite certain that the police is not going to react. So I feel, going beyond politics, I would request the Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab to take very stern action and to ensure that this thing doesn't become a norm, because it will have very serious consequences for the state, which is not used to this kind of happenings and this kind of incidents.
But Mr. Singh, my follow-up question would be, this is not the first time that we're seeing women in the society, irrespective of the state, being subjected to such incidents. Obviously, it is a sense of responsibility for us to ensure that women, also young children, women, girls, have access to better safety and security. So the bigger question is, why is the security system so weak in the country? What can we do to ensure that we don't see any more such instances in the country?
I suppose the whole thing starts from basic education, from school level and from the parent side, and it starts from civil society, it starts from religious leaders and role models trying to tell people not to do, but then there are always bad hats in a society. And because of the bad hats, there is a requirement for very good policing. These days, we've got such good technology. We've got CCTV cameras. We can run drones. We can react in a very fast manner. So I suppose it is time for our police services across the country to become technologically savvy, and the governments, whether they are state or the central, should be paying them a lot of money to do so, because it is only if they create a sense of fear amongst the people that this kind of crimes will go down. And I once again say that it was a very shameful crime indeed.
All right, Mr. Singh, I appreciate you joining us on the broadcast and giving us your viewpoint as you're stating that a sense of fear needs to prevail for such acts also not to take place. But on the other hand, I understand that we also have Flavia Agnes, a lawyer, joining us on the broadcast. Flavia, beg your pardon, I appreciate you taking the time out and talking to us on Mirror now. Of course, this is an unfortunate incident that we're discussing about yet again. The question that I was also asking Mr. Singh, he believes it also needs to start with proper education in terms of the fact that such incidents, need to be curbed. But the bigger question, of course, is why is the system so weak?
I think the entire problem here is, as the previous speaker said, there's a just general law and order situation going down. I don't agree with the previous speaker that such incidents don't happen in Punjab. I don't agree with that at all. Maybe they're not highlighted enough, but they happen everywhere. And the issue is that media has to be far more attentive to this, alert to this, and generally we have to be, girls have to be much more cautious, and boys have to be socialized into respecting women. I don't think that's happening in our society. So this is the manifestation of that happening everywhere.
So do you also believe that, the mentality of men, need to kind of change towards women? Because this is, of course, one incident that we're talking about. This has also happened in the past. In fact, just talking about atrocities against women, we also saw yesterday a horrific incident that did transpire in Delhi's Dwarka, where a 17-year-old was involved in that unfortunate acid attack as well. So what can we do as a society in terms of education, safety, security, a better system out there?
See, generally there is no fear of the police. Generally there is no law and order security overall in the country. So this is happening, it's a manifestation of that's happening everywhere. And above all this, there's no respect for women. So there is this miscreants doing all these kind of things. Two women, as you said, the previous acid attack, such horrible things that are happening all the time. And that's very distressing, in fact. And we need to be like, our law and order situation has to be tightened up. Our police security has to improve. And the girls has to be far more cautious when they're traveling. And also, I feel that respect for women is lacking among the youth. And we need to socialize them into respecting women. These are very general comments, but every time an incident happens, somebody highlights it or somebody doesn't highlight it, and we just get more alert. But all the time, the security has to be maintained, otherwise the incidents are bound to happen. So unless we do that all the time, we cannot curb this by one incident here or one incident there.
All right, ma'am, I appreciate you joining us on the broadcast, but for the moment, we leave it at that and move on to more news that we're tracking at this hour. Now, in